So the only two games played in the regular season so far are done. Both played by the same teams and both won by the Devils pretty decisively. Devils social media admin chose to rub it in pretty good after too. It's just two games. It's not the end of the world for Buffalo, or it doesn't mean that New Jersey's going to win the President's Trophy, but I do feel like it'd give us some decent insight on these two teams. And honestly, I'd just much rather talk about this than more preseason hockey. Yesterday we saw in full force the effects of adding Jacob Markstrom to this team. It's probably the biggest thing they needed to improve on last year's team. And of course, having a healthy Jack Hughes and Dougie Hamilton back in the fold is massive. Today, both teams made a goalie change, Jake Allen for New Jersey and Devin Levi for Buffalo. Today, we got to see the effects of the other most important thing the Devils had to address in the offseason, the defense. Of course, Luke Hughes is out, so when he comes back, it's going to be even better. But a couple pretty underrated adds for this team that could sneakily make a big difference. Kovacevic coming over from the Habs, look, I don't think anyone's expecting him to be a top 4 D-man, especially when Luke Hughes comes back. But he's a really nice depth piece that can play up and down the D-core. 2 points yesterday. The first one was a great read and interception to pick up a nice little apple. The goal was a cool seeing eye shot that Sheldon Keefe even called him Kovechkin after the game. Then there's Seamus Casey, the second round pick from 2022, who took advantage of the Hughes injury to bust down the door and make this roster. Scored his first NHL goal today, a beauty. A lot of D-men in the spot would try their luck getting this puck through traffic, hoping he can get to the net or tipped or off somebody's shin pad and in or something. Great poise from the kid here to realize that Tuck's swinging in urgently to try to take away that shooting lane. If he sells shot but holds onto it for an extra second, he could make a miss. It's exactly what he does. Gorgeous shot. All of a sudden, you look at this D-core even without Luke Hughes, and then you got Markstrom in net. Jake Allen's a good backup, keeping the puck out of their net, which is something this team really struggled with last year, plus having a little more shake and bake back there with Dougie Hamilton being back, Luke Hughes obviously, and now Seamus Casey. I love it, and of course you had Brendan Dillon in there too. Laid a big one on Peterka and then answered the bell with Tuck. He's an extremely physical stay-at-home defenseman who's pretty reliable and seemingly a good leader. I mean, second game with the team, he's already got an A on his jersey in the absence of Andre Palat. Then there's Paul Cotter, who they gave up Alexander Holtz and Akira Schmid for. Nice connection with Jack Hughes on the goal today for the eventual game winner. I could see him being a really nice third line piece, and that was very much a we want to win now trade by the Devils. Among a bunch of other win now moves this offseason, it's only 2 games overseas against the same team, a team that honestly kind of looked uninspired at times. And look, it's far from panic button time in Buffalo. There's so much runway left in the season, but I at least thought with the new coach, the new captain, the pressure that's on this team to make the playoffs this year, I thought they'd come out of the gates with better than that. Especially today, only 18 shots. Maybe they just ran into a really good Devils team. We'll see as the season goes along. But in a year where they're trying to break a historically long playoff drought, it's disappointing to see them start behind the 8 ball like this. Now both teams head back to North America. We got some more preseason tonight, one more on Monday, and then the real thing starts in North America on Tuesday. Preseason always kind of drags, but is it just me or does this one feel exceptionally long? It feels like we've been waiting years for the season to start. It's almost here. Let me know what you thought about these two teams in the Global Series. I'll be following these two teams pretty closely this year. Thank you so much for watching. You're awesome.